Dave here. I'm with Jim Sprague of the PRC. Jim, do you have a life verse?
I do. Galatians 2:20 says, "For I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live. The life I live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me." That's a verse that I picked up as my life verse many, many years ago. I had a mentor, a man who was 7 years older than I, about the time that I was in high school and just graduating from high school, who died tragically in a canoeing accident off of Drummond Island. And he was one who was always encouraging me to lay down my life for the Lord, and I was choosing not to do that at that point in my life. I was living for myself. And when he passed away, God and I had some really serious conversations, wrestled with God, and that's a fight you always lose. But I felt like God had taken the wrong man, because this guy was living for him, and I wasn't. And God just said to me in that funeral service, "It's not too late for you." And I was drawn to that verse back in, that was in 1980. And that verse became my life verse at that point, and I decided to lay my life down and pick it up for Christ and let him live through me.
How do you see the gospel play out during the course of the day?
Well, in the work that we do at the Pregnancy Resource Center, it's one of the main tenets of what we do. If saving babies is all that the PRC is about, then it's way too much work if the gospel's not involved. We want to see people in a right relationship with God through their Son, Christ, and that's on the forefront of our minds as staff and volunteers, everyone involved at the PRC. It's a prayerful place, and one of the prayers that we pray pretty much every day is, "Lord, let this be the day of salvation." As we open our doors today, it's not just about providing a community service. There are lots of folks that could do that. We want to do it in your name, and we want to see your kingdom come today. And so it plays out in everything that we do, and it's part of my life personally, it's part of our family, and it's my desire as the leader of the Pregnancy Resource Center that that be part of every volunteer and staff members and board members' life too. So even as we do supervision and some of the business of the PRC, one of the questions we evaluate is, how's your meter on evangelism? Because I believe that when we come to Christ, we're not just beamed up for a reason. I mean, if it was all about just knowing God through Christ, then why are we still here? It's to see his kingdom come.